Good evening, my gaming family, and we're back. This is your boy, PorterRock77, coming back at you with another episode of 60 Frames No Lag Podcast. You know, our weekly, Wednesday get together. I appreciate for all of you who are joining in live, and for those of you who's going to tune in later, I hope you enjoy it. I got two amazing guests, and we're going to have a great time, great topics. You can look it up in the description, and of course, you got the Gamers Champion, PorterRock77. But I want to start out introducing someone here for the first time. I've been wanting him on here for a long time. And obviously, he's a big star, big dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a complete diva in the journalist industry. And it's hard to get him. Now, I finally got him, I finally got him. I had to give up an arm and a leg for this and a couple of AAA Sony exclusives. But I finally got him here. And it's Tony Polanco. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, yo? That's a hell of an introduction, man. I appreciate that, man.
Gotta give you that Beyonce treatment.
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know about that diva shit, but hey, man, I've been wanting to be on for a while, but shit happens. But luckily, the stars aligned, so I'm here to talk games and talk shit, man. Let's go.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think the first time we did a podcast was on
with Jose.
Yeah, Jose. Yeah, that was the post game report.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I met you and I met Jay Fonzarelli. It's just amazing. Yeah, so I'm glad you're here. I love your Throwdown podcast, and I'll put the link up. The link's already in the description. Amazing podcast. I love it. And I love what I like about your podcast. Like, I caught your most recent one, and you were talking about how are millennials ruining gaming. And that was such an amazing topic.
I got to thank the fans for that, because that's throwing out your question. So I love that show because of that. But since I'm here, I just want to quickly and publicly give you a big shout out because I've been so impressed by the growth of your channel. Your channel, I know you have podcasts up, but it's basically just you doing all this shit. It blows me away. And I'm just being honest right now. Even though even though I'm Dominican, it does me proud to see a Puerto Rican up there doing this thing in the gaming industry, man. It's fucking beautiful, son. So congratulations to you, my brother.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I think I'll be able to get another guest all day. I thought he was working today. All right, let me hook him up. So we'll get one more up in here. All right, and then of course we got the God of War himself. And again, I'm telling people, Master Chief cannot beat Kratos. You can't kill a God killer. Like, I don't even know why we're arguing. We could argue about a lot of things. We could argue about Wolverine versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. We could argue Superman versus fucking the Dragon Ball Z character, whatever. But we can't argue Kratos and Master Chief. That doesn't even make sense. All right, but anyway, we got Jaydubcity. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, everybody, it's your boy Jaydub, aka Kratos, the god of PlayStation and all things gaming. I'm here with Porter Rock again, and my main man Tony P on the panel. It's a fire panel. Let's get it, man.
All right, and I'm about to bring in all day. I could have sworn he told me he was working this weekend, but I'm about to bring him in. So he's about to come in a few seconds. Once I send him the link. And we all know him, the pettiest gamer on YouTube, where he hates everything. Okay. So anyway, I sent them a link. All right. So it's been a great time. All right. So we're gonna start off with the first topic. We're gonna talk about Bluehole, the developers of PUBG. They recently came out showing their displeasure about Fortnite copying, I guess the gameplay mechanics, the whole battle royale stuff. And more importantly, they were kind of upset of how Epic was using their name to support or hype or market Fortnite's battle royale mode. Okay, so we're gonna start with Tony. What do you think about this whole ordeal? My concern, my thing is this: the industry copies off of each other. You look at like Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, and all the fighters and hack and slashers and all that stuff. So this is nothing new. So what do you think? What do you think is their true concern about this whole thing?
What I find interesting is how come Bluehole wasn't saying this about a month ago when Grand Theft Auto introduced a similar mechanic, right? The motor shit, right? Why weren't they complaining about that? If you played that motor war shit, it's like pub only with vehicles and it's team based and shit. So why didn't they complain about that? They're going after Epic now. I find that interesting, but you're right though. It's like no game is original, right? Every game copies off another game. Every game's inspired by another game. So why isn't like Rockstar, even though they didn't exactly create the genre, why aren't they trying to sue everybody with open world games, right? Why isn't that happening? So it just seems to me, and I could be wrong here. I'm not trying to understand their motivations, but it seems to me like these guys are trying to get attention because it's Epic. Even though I'm like, you could have done that with Rockstar. Why didn't you go after them? But like, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't played either of these, so I can't say how much they copy off each other. But I'm like, listen, game modes are always like influencing other game modes, so you shouldn't be surprised. As a matter of fact, I think they're kind of being ungrateful. They should be happy that something they created is becoming so big. And I also need to point out that their game isn't exactly original either, because it's just a mod of another game. I forget what game it was.
H1 isn't it H1Z1 or something like that? Yeah.
And wasn't H1Z1 like no
a copy of another one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how are you gonna go up there and complain that these guys are copying your game when your game is literally a copy of another game? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man, it's bullshit. I'm gonna say it. They should be grateful. They should be grateful, because now people are going to go to the original source and buy even more of those things. And how many copies did this thing sell already, Pub? Like 12 million? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So you know what they usually say, like, what is it? Copying is like the best form of,
imitation.
Imitation, yeah. So, stuff. Yeah. So here's my theory about this. I think what they're concerned about is because Fortnite is already available on every platform, so everyone gets to play this game, right? While PUBG is being systemically pumped into the system. Right now, it's on PC. Soon it's going to be on Xbox, and it's up in the air whether it's going to be on PlayStation 4. The Fortnite game is already being accessed by everybody. So could there be a concern that this gameplay mechanic is now being played by everyone, and by the time PUBG goes on the Xbox platform, and maybe one day on the PS4, people could be like, cool game, but I already got tired of it because I've been playing 100 hours of it on Fortnite, and it's similar. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is so similar that by the time PUBG does come, let's say specifically for PlayStation, because it should come out hopefully it'll come out relatively soon on Xbox. But let's say 6 months from now, or even a year from now, it comes out on PlayStation, and Bluehole expects to push these huge numbers. But by the time it does, PlayStation gamers are like, man, I already been playing Fortnite in this mode for like 6 months already. I'm tired of this mode. I'm ready to play Spider-Man or some other game and stuff like that. And it doesn't become a success. You think that's maybe the main concern? That by the time it arrives, the fever's already passed?
I mean, maybe, but the thing is, that would have happened with or without Fortnite. Let's just be honest now. Look what happened with Tomb Raider. I know they're different games, but when Tomb Raider came out on PS4, that shit didn't exactly sell well because people already been playing it on Xbox for a year. So I don't think this shit would have affected it at all. And let's just be honest again, going back to what I was saying before. By the time it happens, Pub would have sold 15, 16 million by then. You guys are already successful, man. You guys are good. You don't need to be complaining. I understand it's a business and you need to make as much money as possible, but at the same time, this move, just going to be honest, man, it seems kind of petty to me.
Could they have possibly put the spotlight even more on Fortnite, by validating, saying, "Oh my God, these guys actually copied our game." Gamers going to be like, "Really? They copied it? So it's pretty much the same, and I can get it for free because isn't this mode for free? It's a free download."
Yeah, you know what? You're completely right about that. I'm going to be completely honest, man. Not a lot of people had heard about Fortnite until now. Everybody's heard about PUBG. So you're right about that. They inadvertently are giving their quote-unquote competition spotlight.
Validation. Yeah, they just validated the claim.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. They kind of doing it to themselves then, Yeah,
it's like, because it's true, because Fortnite, had nowhere near the success of PUBG. Like, PUBG, that just came out of the blue. Like, I'm like, holy shit, this thing already sold like 4 million. Like what did it have? And it just kept growing and growing.
Yeah.
And now Fortnite, everybody's talking about Fortnite now. And even though Fortnite came out like 2-3 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And now everybody's talking about Fortnite because of this.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Jay, what you going on? What you perceive of this? What you see from this?
Man, like you said, I don't think it's a big deal. I think, hey, you've already sold your 12 million copies. Let these guys get a few million. Let them, throw them a bone. It's okay. They can say, hey, our game is great too. It's just like PUBG, or we have this mode like PUBG. It's okay to name drop every now and then. Everybody does it. They didn't, PUBG didn't innovate anything. It just basically copied a formula that was already there. I don't think it's a big deal, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I think sometimes these developers need to chill. I mean, just the fact that they're already at 12 million, what do they have to complain about? And that's only on one platform. I'm pretty sure it's just already on one platform. They 12 million is what a lot of multi-plat developers want, and across all platforms they hope to reach 8 million. They already got 12 on just one, and especially on PC. It's rare do you see a game of this type like do so well on PC so fast. Usually
that's Call of Duty numbers. Yeah,
and now it's gonna go on Xbox, so you could at least see 5-6 million. Especially with the dry spell they have. Xbox gamers are going to jump all over this game because this is probably would be the biggest IP that they had all year long. So they're just going to be all over this title. And then let's say if it comes to PS4, 6 months or a year later, just on the sheer success and how everybody's playing, it's like Overwatch. This game could technically be Overwatch level of success. So I don't know why they should just chill, lay back, and just focus on what they got to do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is getting crazy.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna smoothly move on to the next topic, and this one going. So Cliffy B. So I read an article talking about was Cliffy B's ego the result. Pretty much was the result of LawBreakers' failure because of Cliffy B's ego. And he apologized. He says that he's gonna learn not to be a dick. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it had anything to do with his ego because. The only people that got mad at his ego was the Xbox community, and the game wasn't going on their platform. So I don't for example, I don't see PS4 community getting pissed that he's bashing the Xbox community. I don't see that happening. I think they won't give a fuck. I think the game didn't do well. It's just pissed pretty much because people felt it was an Overwatch clone. And most of the people, like, here's the thing. So Cliffy B, a lot of people are bashing him, for the way he acts, but he's always been that way. He was like that with PS3 gamers. When PS3 gamers used to harass him on why Gears of War wasn't coming to PS3, and he acted the same way. Saying some people, I remember PS3 gamers trolling him, saying, "Oh, you piece of shit, you develop whatever," and he's like, "My game sold 8 million, so suck my dick." And he used to say, "Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, he didn't care." This guy was he was going on the Tonight Show. He was like a rock star. He didn't care. Now, what set him off was just a tweet that said, "Hey, Fortnite's coming. LawBreakers coming to PS4, PC," and the Xbox community saying, "When's it coming to Xbox?" He just said, honestly, "Hey, small team, small development. I couldn't make it on Xbox. Without impacting the launch date, so it's not coming to Xbox." At that point, and Tony, you probably know more than anybody else. That's when the Xbox community or some members start going off on them. They're like, "Oh, you ain't shit. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be nothing. You ain't loyal to us. We made you famous because of Gears of War." Now, here's the funny part, and I know you could back me on this, Tony. This dude was already popular long before Xbox.
Yeah.
He gave Epics their first million-selling game. He was making games since he was 14. And if anything, and that's why I tell people, if anything, and there's some people who don't remember or don't know, is that technically he actually saved Xbox. You see, if people don't remember, I read an article from Peter Moore, and the title of the article was Cliffy B costed Microsoft $1 billion. So obviously it's a catchy article. Like, what the hell? Like, what did he do? So when I read the article, Peter Moore remembered that he had a phone call from Cliffy B, and Cliffy B saying, "Hey, tomorrow I'm taking a trip to Redmond. I'm going to come see you." And that's it. He hung up the phone.
Oh, shit.
And Peter Moore's like, "Okay, like, who the hell you think you are, right?" He brought Gears of War, and he brought a TV, and he turned it on. And he goes, and he told them, Peter Moore said, "This is how," and he bleeped out whatever, "my game looks on this shitty 256 meg console." See, the point was Xbox 360 was only going to have 256 megs of RAM. It didn't have the 512 that we know. It was because of Cliffy B that they had to bump it up to 512 because Gears of War looked like trash. And he told them, "Look how my game looks. I need 512 megs. So you're going to put 512 megs in this box." And that's what happened. So Peter Moore greenlighted $1 billion to add an extra 256 megs of RAM into the 360. So technically, Cliffy B saved the Xbox console, because if that thing would have came out with 256 megs of RAM, while the PS3 has 512, things would be completely different. Completely different in terms of multiplats, in terms of how games look. A lot of games probably would have looked like trash, but Cliffy B was the first one to call it out because he said, "This game looks like trash. I need more RAM. You need to put more RAM." Him by himself, flying right to Redmond with a face-to-face conversation to Peter Moore. And Peter Moore wrote that check. And there you go. And the rest is history. So when people say Xbox made his career, no. He was already famous for Unreal Tournament and all that stuff. You know? And obviously, Gears of War is his game. So Xbox got popular because of his game. But it was the fact that he had the balls to go to Peter Moore and show him this ain't cutting it. And this was from Peter Moore. He told this story. It wasn't Cliffy B telling this story. Peter Moore said this interview that he had to write a check for $1 billion to fix just because of Cliffy B. What do you guys think about that? About the whole ego thing and how it impacted Lawbreakers or whatever?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, everybody knows that Cliffy B has a huge ego. That you know is already known. But the thing is, I think he came into this thinking, yo, I'm Cliffy B. This shit's gonna be bananas. It's gonna sell more than Gears of War, right? Thinking crazy shit. Yeah. And he even admitted he got humbled, you know, because motherfuckers wasn't buying his game. And just like you said, because it's basically Overwatch, you know. So he definitely learned his lesson. But going back to what you were saying about the Xbox guys, because I mean, you were there with people on Twitter. This shit was hilarious. These motherfuckers were like, "Oh, you betrayed us. We made you. Nobody even heard of Cliffy B without us. Get the fuck out of here, man. You didn't hear about him until Xbox. You know, Cliffy B was doing this thing on Unreal Tournament. I guess that game never existed, right? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. These guys are so crazy. So yeah, like so on that front, these guys, you know, as always, Xbox are fucking idiots with that shit, thinking that, you know, the 360 was like, 360 was a great system and all, but
awesome system.
It didn't like make stars away. I mean, you just proved it. Wasn't Cliffy B? As a matter of fact, it should be Xbox guys thanking him.
Yes.
Let's just be real. You know, they should be thanking this motherfucker. But
most people don't know.
No, they don't know because they're ignorant, bro. And they, you know, they go with whatever fits their narrative. You know what I'm saying? They twist shit. They conveniently forget things. They flat out lie. You know, but yeah, man. With Lawbreakers, I'm gonna be honest. Even before this game came out, I'm like, this shit's gonna bomb. Yeah. It's gonna fucking bomb because you have Overwatch now. You know how people are single-minded. Once they get that one game,
they stay with it.
That stay with it. Let's go back a little bit, right? MMOs and shit. What was the one MMO for years that nobody could fuck with?
Oh, World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Yep. Yes, I realized that EverQuest came out before that, but
EverQuest before that. But once World of Warcraft came, it takes a while. Yeah, EverQuest for a while was why everybody's playing. You know, it's true.
Exactly. And to modern days, try to make a game where, you know, with building blocks that you could build shit and not compare it to Minecraft. You know, once that one huge game drops, it doesn't matter if something else came before it. It's gonna be the thing. So when Lawbreakers came out, it's like, fuck, this is Overwatch. Why do I need to stop playing Overwatch? I can just play. Why do I need to stop playing Overwatch like for Lawbreakers? I never heard of this shit. I'm good, you know. By the way, I need to freely admit every time I'm talking about this game, I need to look over at the show notes. I always forget the name of the fucking game. Such a generic ass game, Lawbreakers. You know?
Lawbreakers. Yeah, that's true. What do you think about Jay?
I got, you know what? I got Lawbreakers. I'm not gonna
everything.
Yeah, you know,
it is a decent game. It is a decent game. I played the beta, and I'll talk about that in a few.
Okay, here's the thing. He had a lot going against it. For one, he dropped it on PS4 around the same time that we got Uncharted, Lost Legacy coming out. I mean, you guys know, week after week, month after month, there's going to be some big games dropping on the PlayStation platform. Yeah. You cannot drop a game anywhere near any of the other games. And I think at the end of the day, you know, shooters coming out. We're looking for Star Wars Battlefront. You know, you got your Call of Duty coming out. There's just, I honestly think that the industry is saturated with too many shooters. There wasn't enough in Lawbreakers so far now to stand out. There was nothing that said, I gotta have this. Sure, the price was enticing because it was, you know, $30, but it's still a shooter, and you haven't distinguished yourself from Overwatch. That's the hottest game. That's the hottest shooting game out now, besides PUBG.
Okay.
So first thing first, people are going to say, oh, it's an Overwatch clone. It's an Overwatch clone. He has yet to show a video or anything that shows why you have to pick this game over Overwatch. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think he made that distinct. That, you know, I just think he didn't sell the game like he should have. So, you know, he's Cliffy B and he's a rock star, but at the end of the day, there's just too many other things going out there and too many other games fighting for our attention, and his games just fell by the wayside.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's a good segue on what I'm gonna say. So when I played the beta, right, I'm thinking, you know, I boot up my PlayStation, it's gonna be like on the feature list. Wasn't even a feature list. I had to type the name LawBreakers to find the beta. Like it was nowhere on the screen.
Exactly.
Like I was looking on a featured, I'm looking on, you know, different segments. I'm like, what the hell is the beta thing? So I just type out LawBreakers and then it popped up. You know, that it doesn't work that way because that means the only people that's gonna have access to this game is the ones who are purposely looking for it. But like if you're casual PS4 gamers, you would never know that this game is out. All right, that's number one. Number two, the beta wasn't really good in a sense. I mean, the gameplay was good, but like it wasn't like Overwatch. If you play the Overwatch beta, you were able to learn each character. You were able to know what their power, what they do, what's the advantages. LawBreakers, nothing. You just pick the guy and you just go right in playing, and then you have to figure it out what's the whole point of this character you're using, in which I didn't like it. I like, can I get a tutorial so I can learn each guy's special and what the advantages, disadvantage, kind of like what they did Overwatch. So they didn't really do a good introduction of how to enjoy each character. So I think the combination, even when the game released, again, it wasn't even on the featured page. Yeah. You know, sometimes, you know, the biggest sellers come from casuals, but you have to help them. You have to be like, hey, this is out. Look at it. You know,
another thing too, Rock, you got to realize with Overwatch, before it came out, before the game even dropped, like it was like once every week they would show you a character, show you the bio and a little video of them, so you got to know the different characters. You know, this week we're revealing this character, next week we're revealing this. They did that. No, in Overwatch.
Oh, Overwatch. Okay.
So people kind of knew the story behind that, or a little bit about the characters. LawBreakers, like, here's a shooter. These are the characters. They are not memorable at all. I mean, you just don't remember these characters. After you stop playing it, it's like, all right, whatever. You know, there's nothing about it.
That's a great point, because like the Overwatch characters, they even like, you know, fucking obviously it always happens, but you started seeing these characters
cosplay
and shit. Cosplay.
People, they became big shit. Yeah.
You know? So they actually like bring life into these characters. Yeah, LawBreaker, you're right. There's nothing memorable about any of these guys, you know, nothing like that. Hey, Tony, have you seen anything like in LawBreakers from the industry side compared to Overwatch? Like, was there any news feeds or like people pinging you to do anything about this game or anything?
No. I mean, like like personally, like with other journalists, no one really talks about it. I mean, I've gotten emails or whatever to report news, but to be honest, I never really did it because I knew it wouldn't really get any hits. Like I've written a couple stories, mainly, you know, the Cliffy B one and a couple others, but not really. Like no one's really talking about this game, even on the industry side. Everybody's just talking about Overwatch. You know, you cannot deny the power of Activision Blizzard. When they drop a game, that shit's gonna dominate World of Warcraft, like we were talking about before. You know, so this shit, it had absolutely no chance at all, man. Because like you guys said, it has no personality. Say what you will about Overwatch, that shit has personality to it, has style, it has flair. LawBreakers is generic as fuck. Let's just be real here, you know. So that's why nobody, you know, fans and even journalists, they don't really give a fuck about this game, bro.
You know, and it's cool. It's true what you say. Activision, when they push something out, it's like a movie. They go all out with media and everything. Like, you know, when a game's out, when Activision's publishing it, like, you know, it's like an event. It's like you know, the Avengers movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's like, you know, like a Marvel movie. They're gonna make sure everybody in the entire world knows. You know, so yeah. So I think, all right. So we're gonna slowly tread into the next topic, and this is maybe a short one. I don't know. Maybe it might be nothing. The Xbox One X demo. It's so did anybody was able to get to one, because the closest Best Buy didn't have it with me. How about you guys? Did you
I didn't even know about this shit, to be honest. Like when I saw this in the shows, I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I got to see one at the Best Buy across town.
Now, was it an actual one or a cardboard box placement? Because I seen videos. They did that too. Like, they didn't have
it was in a kiosk, and it was just a sign that says Xbox X, but I didn't see the physical console.
Oh, okay.
And,
go ahead.
And again, they didn't have it side by side with one on the Xbox One and the One X, so you couldn't tell. Here's the problem, and I'm just going to tell you the problem just from my visual eyes. You know, obviously I play on the PC. I've played, Forza Apex on the PC, so I've seen it, the engine and everything in its entirety. And it's a good looking game, but here's the thing: Forza Horizon 3 on the Xbox One was a badass looking game.
Okay,
so it didn't do anything above that besides, sharper, just it got rid of all the jagged edges. It's clear. That's it. But the game is still beautiful. But honestly, probably most people would prefer to have Forza Horizon 3 than Forza 7.
Okay. Well, yeah, but they alternate. Yeah, I could imagine that. Some people, in fact, I hear a lot of people saying that the Horizon series is their favorite series compared to the Sim Racer. Sim Racer, well, we all know my thing. The racing games suck ass.
Yeah, I know you.
He hates racers. Yeah, but I would say Horizon looks more fun, especially when they did the Hot Wheels. I gotta admit that did look fun.
Yeah.
Looking at it, let's give a quick shout out to my man All Day Digital. What's going on, brother?
All day.
My man had to come from the doctor, check his gout and stuff.
My man is always leaving us questions for Throwdown, man. Always appreciate that.
Oh man, no doubt, man. Love the show, bro.
Love it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, he's half Puerto Rican too. You know that, right?
A word. All right,
yeah.
that's what's up, man. Latinos unite, son.
Yeah, my man got that Goya in him.
Yeah.
That's sazon.
Yeah, a little bit of sazon. You know what I'm saying? He be putting sazon on his Sunday and shit.
I don't want no orange Sunday, bro. Orange Sunday.
Orange looking Sunday. Yeah, hey, All Day. Were you able to be blessed with going to Best Buy, checking out the 1X at a demo display?
Well, I went to E3, bro. I already played it.
Okay, you already played it, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So you didn't even care about going to Best Buy. You're like,
nah,
that.
Nah,
okay.
nah, not at all.
Are you getting it all day?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, day one. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't buy. I just spent all the money on that TV for nothing. Shit.
Okay.
I hear you. No, I just know a lot of people they don't care for circuit racing. They'll buy it because it's an Xbox One and it's a beautiful game, but at the end of the day, most of them won't play it because they're not into circuit racing. They're into the they're into the arcade type.
Well, for me, I rather the circuit, the semi stuff than the Horizon. I don't really like Horizon that much.
Okay,
really?
Cool.
Oh,
yeah,
you're into professional driving. You got your little big wheel set up and in the chair. My man got the helmet. He goes in his living room. Right. He puts on his actual motocross helmet.
Hey, Puerto Rock, you have to lay off him on that, man. That's me, man. You describe me. That's
man. You got that $1,000 chair. You know what I'm saying?
You
put on the helmet.
Nah, man. I mean, Horizon. Hey, you know what? Horizon's a good break, but it's nothing. I just feel like I don't know. It's just it's kind of doing too much, and I'd rather just focus on mastering the tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the times, straight old school. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a sim racer by heart, man. And the reason, everybody has it for different reasons. But as a kid growing up and playing games, obviously you see the cars that you probably would never have in your life. And so you get to pretend like, hey, I own this car and this is what it would be like being in the car. So
when you're grown up, so when you grow up, you feel like a fucking bum now, right?
No, knock on wood, but I've been blessed to be able to get some of the cars that I always wanted when I was a kid. So, I'm able to do stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not, obviously I'm not gonna buy a Bugatti, a $3 million Bugatti. But at the end of the day, hey, it feels good to get in the sim and know it's like, hey, it's cheaper for me to race this thing virtually than to
right
freaking
the money.
Yeah,
this dude actually lives on Olympus and shit.
Right, look at him. Hey, that Bentley, I can put something on it.
Yeah. So with this topic, so I saw a couple of videos. I saw some YouTube videos of people going to Best Buy, putting on the video. Obviously, we saw Zaire, but I saw like a whole bunch. And I gotta admit, just looking at these videos, I'm like, again, I'm not into racers, but the game does look great. Again, I don't game in 4K.
Forza does this thing every time, man.
The thing
when I played it at the event, man, it kind of blew my mind how good it looked, man.
Yeah.
Now, can I say this one point?
I just want to bring the topic. I want to bring the full topics. Now, I noticed it. Now, maybe it's just a Marine in me, but I noticed things that maybe people didn't mean to show, and it's just something I noticed. So every single video, that was presented, and some of them were presented live, like on Periscope, and I saw a couple of those live on Periscope at the Xbox and Best Buy and stuff like that from other gaming channels. every single one that I saw, they were the only ones there. It would just be that person.
Yeah.
And boom, like it wasn't a crowd of people. Like, shouldn't like this event like
once again, this is examples of Microsoft not marketing this.
Yeah, like there was nobody there. Like even Zaire was talking to him and that one nerd.
Yeah, there's one. Hey, house looks great.
There. I think I saw people like on the corner on the PlayStation aisle. There's like 7 people there looking at games, and I'm like, nobody's on the Xbox move. Like, what's like is Microsoft screwing this up? Like, to be honest, I didn't know they even were doing that until I saw videos like on my feed popping. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'm thinking, oh, we're here at Best Buy, and I'm thinking, shit, let me check at my Best Buy, and it wasn't at mine. Obviously,
honestly, bro, I didn't know about it until Zaire mentioned it, bro. I didn't know. Really didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it until I saw it in the show notes tonight. You know,
like,
see,
yeah,
you know,
like,
and
what
you're like in New York.
Yeah, dude, I didn't see that shit.
You probably would have covered it. You know, Throwdown. You know, some shit. Throwdown live at Best Buy Times Square.
Right. Yo, I play Forza and it's bullshit.
This there's Toxic Tony.
You know,
shit, with the baseball bat.
Because they think I'm actually advocating me going out there hitting dudes in the back of the head with a bat. You fucking you know,
you don't go around like Sammy Sosa swinging home runs.
You know, I'm not gonna get off topic, but I find it crazy that nowadays Sammy Sosa, like I'm darker skinned than him. Like, how did that happen? But that's a topic for another day.
Oh man, Jesus.
But I quickly want to say this though about racing games. Forza main games. I'm just be honest, I don't care about them. Just like I don't care about Gran Turismo. I'm like, I don't fuck with that shit. Forza Horizon, I likes that shit. You know, I like, to me, I'm like, the circuit racing games are kind of boring. Like, okay, I'm going in a circle. That's cute. Like, I like going in different places and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, going to Best Buy just to check out Forza 7, nah, I'm good, fam. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know,
hey, bro, I would even give Gran Turismo a chance. But once I found out, isn't it true you can't customize your vehicles, kind of like Project Cars?
That's fake, man. Don't believe that. Don't believe
you
that.
can
customize.
Yeah, you can customize the car. Matter of fact, you can customize the car more in this version than you have in any other Gran Turismo ever.
Well, that's good.
So you can't get your information, man, from the Xbox, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
hey, man, they be
you
all
listen
over
to them, man. They're gonna tell you the game is 540p and it's only online and all. I mean, they got all.
I mean, well, just by me giving my own opinion, when I seen the game, it didn't look up to Forza standards. You know, not to me. Just by the way the cars, the physicality of it. You know, that's just me looking at it. I haven't played it yet, so.
Now keep in mind they did say that all the beta that they gave in the summertime, all of that was strictly to test and stress out the online functionality. It was not with the bells and whistles of the graphics, the lighting, and all that stuff. If you've seen a recent version or copy of the game that's closer to launch, then it's night and day.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the development periods in GT is too long?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I can tell you that shit.
Even me, as the god of Gran Turismo, you have to say that. Fuck, man, it's like I'm tired of getting like one game per generation, 1 or 2 games per generation.
Ridiculous.
But on the flip side, you guys have to admit, having a Forza every year is also not the way to do it either.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. If you don't want to buy Forza every year, it's not like Turn 10 is gonna make another game. That's you know, because that development group, kind of like Polyphony Digital, they have to learn 2 crafts. They have to learn how to make a game, and they have to know about cars. Learning about cars, that's an industry in of itself.
Yeah,
these guys, they learn this industry, so they have to learn 2 industries. So that's all they're gonna make. So if they want to make Forza Horizon, then if you want to skip Horizon 1 year or Forza 1 year, you could do that. But at the very least, they're providing more content for their fan base than, you know, what if you play, like right now, you're the god of Gran Turismo. What if it sucks? I mean, like, not like fanboy console, or like, what if you play it and you say to yourself, this game is garbage? What do you do? You're going to wait another 5 years.
No. Okay, so check this out. Here's the thing. Gran Turismo, every single Gran Turismo. Here's the thing, okay, every year when you drop a Forza, when I buy a 2000, let's say to this year, if I buy a 2017 Mercedes CLS, whatever, that body style of the car is not going to change for at least 4 years. Yeah. So when they come out with it next year, guess what? They're not changing anything to the cars. It's the same thing. Nothing changed. At least with Gran Turismo, it's coming out every 4 to 5 years or whatever. There's a lot to be added. There's a lot to be done. The cars are different. The builds are different. And keep in mind now, this Gran Turismo Sport is the only place where you can get your real world racing license and go to a real life racing track and race with professional people. That has never been done ever.
More reason to stay away from vagina. I get it.
Okay. Hey, but here's my question. Here's my question.
No,
you guys are turning me and making me look like Porterbot 77. All right. So let's say like you start out your generation and you play Forza 5. That came out in 2013. And let's say you don't touch another Forza until 47. You don't think there's a significant jump between 7 and 5?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Rock. I bought Forza. I bought every iteration of Forza. Right now on my Xbox One, I have Forza 5.
Yeah.
I have the Horizon, both of the Horizons, and I have Forza. Obviously I bought Forza 7. I got it's a 6 and 7, but I already pre-ordered on the PC.
Okay.
So every single iteration plus the Apex. So I've played all these games. I'm going to tell you, it's the same damn game. There is nothing else they did besides the tracks. They added a few tracks, but other than that, it's the same game.
All right.
And granted, Gran Turismo used to do it back in the day, like Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. It's generally the same game. They just, they did a little bit better in the textures and in the graphics department, but it's literally the same game.
Okay. Now back to my question. What if Gran Turismo Sport sucks ass?
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
That's a big possibility. And I'll be angry, but check this out. How many Gran Turismos have they had? And every single Gran Turismo rate extremely high, and it sells crazy numbers. It's Sony's biggest franchise. I mean, the guys just sell 20 million copies, and there is nothing that says that this game is going to do any less than any of the other previous games. So just by the nature of its name, the game is going to sell 7 to 8 million copies just off the rip. Whether you like it or not, that's just Gran Turismo is just that big around the world. It's just the default racer. Now here in America, in America where Xbox is big, Forza is, because I love Forza for the customization. That's how it came up. Forza came up, it did something that Gran Turismo didn't do. It allows you to change all your features, functionality, put body kits on it, put decals, customize it to fit you and what you want. That's what Forza did, and that's how it reigns in that category of racing. Now, while Gran Turismo thrive at, it tries to be a full-blown simulator. There is no arcade stuff in there. There's no nitrous in there. You're not going to be jumping ramps. There is no rewind button. There is none of that stuff. It's made to teach you how to drive, hit the apexes, and learn the courses. Real life people play Gran Turismo games, join the GT Academy, and become real world racers. Okay, that distinguishes Forza, which I consider a simcade. It's a simulation game. It's an arcade game with simulation aspects. GT Sport tries to be the full-blown simulator. That's why the title says the racing simulator.
Oh, I guess all day.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't give a damn. All I hear is garbage. The genre is
Gran Turismo always strive to be the sim. I mean, Forza to me is a simulator just as much as GT is, no matter what. So I mean, they're both in the same category. It just depends on what you prefer. But Forza has everything Gran Turismo offered and more. Just because they've been in the game. You got to think about it, bro. Like Forza is kind of like Madden now, or 2K. You know what I mean? They're gonna give you a different iteration every year.
It's the annual franchise.
And people that are in that ecosystem and like the game are gonna buy it every year. Or you might do like Porter Rock and skip out every other year.
Let me ask you this.
I skip out every year.
Let me ask you
every year I skip out.
What up?
the fact that most Xbox fans have admitted, and they say this, they've screamed about it. We are tired of the Halo, the Gears, and the Forzas every year. They've said that they're tired of these games. It's like they know, like clockwork, that these games are coming. So it's been on the decline year after year after year. That's not just me saying that. That's the stats showing that. Yeah. So let's say 5 years from now, what do you see Forza selling? Do you see it like, instead of selling like 3-4 million copies, do you see it selling 1 or 2? I mean, eventually it's waning down. It's not going upwards, and that's the problem.
Well, the Forza is a niche title, bro. You know what I mean? And racing in general. So, I mean,
I wouldn't say it's a niche. Maybe that's just, I wouldn't call it niche.
Well, a racer, you know,
in the genre. I'll say the genre, because there's not a lot of big racing franchise. Like you could name them on one hand: Project Cars, Forza, Gran Turismo,
Assetto Corsa,
Need for Speed.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
But you have to, on any platform, you have to have a racing game. That is part of gaming. You can't leave that out. That is just as much as it's a sport.
See, the problem with Microsoft is just that, you know, even I tell people this all the time. I used to be a Halo fanatic, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm super fatigued, and I probably won't even like Halo 5. I didn't even finish the campaign. Fraud, exposed, right? Yeah. I got tired. It's boring, right?
That's what I was asking. Like,
Forza is one of those games I can always come back to and play. And Gears, you know.
Yeah.
Even Gears is I'm fatigued because I went so hard in it back in the day. Mm-hmm. But you know, they just need new stuff. They need more studios. They need to pump out things in between. Period.
Now I'm telling you this, guys. Out of all, I race with Assetto Corsa. I race with Project Cars 1 and 2, and you know, obviously Gran Turismo, you know, and Forza is what I race. I bought me a freaking racing steering wheel so I can use my racing setup for Forza 5 and 6.
Damn, you play all that trash?
Holy I do, man. And I played in VR. I played in VR as well. Oh my here's the thing.
I mean, you're talking to Puerto Rico. He's a professional Uber driver, bro.
I know. So here's the thing. Okay. These games, you cannot. A racer is not one of those games that you release every year because nothing changes. The cars are the same. Cars don't change every year. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing to gain.
That's why I think the genre sucks. All you guys are doing is paying $60 to drive the same 1985 Monte Carlo on the Nuremberg track.
But as a simulation fan, it's about how close can you come to real life with the force feedback, with the realization that, hey, I am on the track. I feel like when I put my Oculus Rift on and I'm playing Project Cars 2 and I'm racing on Nürburgring, it's like after I'm done, I'm sweating, my hands all stiff. It's like it was a full body workout because I felt like, hey, I was just in this real life race. That's what it does. And even when I'm playing Forza 6, racing against friends, we're on the simulation side, not bumper cars. We are trying to match each other's times. We're trying to beat each other. So I come from that simulation aspect. And I understand I'm a minority when it comes to racing. Most people want to have fun. They want to hit the nitrous. That's why Need for Speed was the king for so many years because it gave you that fun factor. You know, then Burnout Paradise came out and that killed it. But I do understand that you guys think that racing is niche. Simulation racing is niche, but racing is not niche. It is a big sport. It is a big deal.
That thing's more like a bottle of Ambien for me, personally. So we're gonna move on. I apologize to the chat. You know, half of them fell asleep. I apologize for that.
I fell asleep too.
Wake your ass up.
All right, we're gonna throw the next topic. All right, so we're gonna readdress another topic: crossplay. All right, so we all know the benefits. You know, we heard it 100 times. You know, it takes games that are complete trash on an individual platform, and I guess when we combine them together, it now becomes a great game. Apparently, whatever. Here's my thing: is crossplay really something most gamers want? You know, not saying in somebody's opinion it should be something gamers get. Is that something like if we get it, are we actually gonna care to use it?
No.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like once we have it, is it something
cool? Look, it's a cool idea, right? But look, if it's strictly matchmaking and not be able to play with your friends on PlayStation or a console, then I don't know who's on the other side of the fucking board.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know the difference.
Some people think we're gonna be party chatting with each other.
Yeah.
No, it's a random matchmaking.
Yeah.
like at that point, you won't even know if it's a PlayStation game or not. You know, and some people be like, oh, but this could like, bring back dead communities alive. Listen, if it's dead on PC and it's dead on PS4 and dead on Xbox, bringing it all together is just one dead fucking game.
The only
it's not all of a sudden going to be an amazing full lobby. It's not going to happen.
The only genre that this will be successful would be an MMO. That's probably it.
MMO. Yeah, you're right.
That's probably it.
That's it. So I don't get why is this all of a sudden a big thing? Like most people, I remember I come from a time where most people be like for example, to be like, I play on Xbox because it's a better community, a more competitive community.
Yeah.
Now we went from that to I want to play with PS4 gamers. Like just last week, you called us ponies.
Exactly.
We don't talk. Like now you want to play with us?
Put a rock.
I gotta jump in. Let's just be real, man. You've heard a lot of these dudes say the opposite, like, "Oh, these PS gamers are trash. I don't want to play with them and shit." But then at the same time, "Oh, you guys don't have crossplay? What the fuck?" It's like, yo, how are you gonna say one thing and then the complete opposite the next second, man?
Yeah.
Which is it? These guys, like, I think their main meal, their main sustenance is hypocrisy, man. Like that's all they do all day, man. It's crazy, bro. No, but going back to your main question about crossplay, I think you're right. It's like, yeah, it would be nice, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because you have cats like, okay, I'm playing on PS4. Oh fuck, I bought the Xbox version. We can't play together. So if everybody could play together, that'd be great. But what? I don't think it's a big deal. I'll just being honest right now, man.
Yeah, it's
and if it does move forward, bro, if it really does happen, then Discord is going to become available on Xbox and PS. And PlayStation,
that's probably going to be the main app to use.
Yeah. Because I don't know how that's going to cross network and work. Doing party chat.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do party chat and all that stuff. It's just going to be auto matchmaking, and you'll probably see a PS4 symbol over the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, this definitely would have helped out Cliffy B with LawBreakers, bro.
Oh shit!
So instead of 200 people playing, now you got 4.
Right?
Yeah,
204. Yo,
yeah, double the output. I don't think much of it. That's just interesting. It's just interesting how this.
I think honestly, I think people are only making a big deal about it is because Sony said no, and they want to blow it up as big as they possibly can to make it seem like Sony is anti-consumer.
Sony.
This and that. I mean, these guys say that Sony's anti-consumer because they come out with too many exclusives. So you can't pay these guys no more. I mean, you can't pay these guys.
Yo, can we bring up the fact that last gen Sony wanted crossplay and Xbox was like, no, we ain't having that shit.
And it's for the same reason.
Yeah,
for the
same
reason.
Microsoft wanted that advantage of having the most user base.
Exactly.
So if you want to play on Xbox, you got to buy an Xbox.
But look, can you imagine?
What was that for? For Final Fantasy?
That's the reason why they didn't get it.
Yeah. Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine if Sony said, "Okay, cool, well let's do crossplay," and then Microsoft released the next month, they released a statement to their investors talking about, we had 64 million new, user engagement numbers. That ultimately, that's what Microsoft want. That's why they want it so bad. Have you guys noticed they haven't mentioned anything about user engagement numbers in about 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't at all. That's because those numbers aren't there. So when they do crossplay, they're going to be able to say, okay, all these PlayStation fans that have been interacting with our network and our fans, they're our fans now, and vice versa. I mean, they already count the PC as basically being Xbox, or it's all about Windows. We don't care where we at. We just want to be there. So I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a marketing ploy by Microsoft. At the end of the day, Sony don't need this. They don't gain anything out of this. They have their base. They're selling their consoles like hotcakes. It's really Microsoft that wants to. And the generations flip.
I don't think either platform needs it. You know what I mean? Everybody. I mean, they've been out for years, man. They got their online services. They got everybody already invested in their ecosystem. It doesn't. I don't think it'll improve that much on either side, man.
Well, like you said earlier, this could backfire. Like you said, if everybody's going to be on Discord, nobody's going to want to use the Xbox Live services. Nobody's going to want to use the place that it could really backfire on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
because if you could, let's say if you go beyond matchmaking, like random matchmaking, you can actually invite your friend that's cross-platform.
Mhm.
That's probably the only way to talk to them. It's going to be through Discord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially, let's say if you're going to do a raid in Destiny and you got 3 Xbox gamers and 3 PlayStation gamers or whatever, or like a combination of PC, whatever. The only way to talk is through Discord. That's the only way you're going to be able to do a raid.
Look at Switch. Don't even have a freaking. Basically, I'm just gonna be honest. It really doesn't have an online infrastructure, and at the end of the day, nobody cares because people get on Discord or people, get on their phone and talk with their friends, and it is what it is.
And wouldn't you think that would create some type of rift or hole in people like me and other people out there that are multi-console owners? Like, why would you want to buy both systems? You can play with
that's
your friends on the other one.
that's another one. It takes away from being a multi-console owner and stuff like that for the most part when you can play a lot of games. All right, that's interesting. Okay, so final topic, and then we can open it up to whatever or call it a day. But all right, Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. Apparently the sales ain't that well. It's another Capcom fighter that I don't want to say bombed, but it definitely didn't do as good as the previous entries, kind of like Street Fighter V. So what is Capcom doing wrong here? Like
the negative.
Yeah, I mean, okay, because here's the thing. First, I just to make it fair, I had the game, about a week before it came out, right? And even though I had played it previously during other events or whatever, I was still skeptical about it. I'll get to the reasons why. But playing it for a good amount of time, you see this is actually a really fun game. It's a solid Capcom fighting game. And if you turn off all the auto shit, all the auto combos, auto super moves, all that, it's a solid fighter, right? But there's 2 huge problems with it. I'm going to save the biggest one for last, right? First one is everybody can see this, the graphics, those character models are fucked up.
Flat.
Let's just be honest. Like, look, compared, Ultra, Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever the fuck it was called, right? Yeah. That shit looked good. It was stylish. It looked like a comic book, right? Yeah. Like it had flair. You could tell it apart from any other game. Now it looks like generic. Like it just looks like garbage. Let's just be honest. But the biggest problem is, and let's just be real. And I've talked about this on Tony's Takes, right? They took away the fucking X-Men.
Yes.
Right? X-Men have been in this franchise, and I'm going back to X-Men versus Street Fighter back in 1996, right? They've been in this franchise for over 20 years, right? Now they've taken them away, and we all know why they took them away. It's because Fox owns the movie rights, and Marvel's petty. They could have
Marvel's trying to tank the right. They're trying to tank the brand name, so that way it forces Fox to
exactly. Because here's the thing. Let's just look. Disney owned Marvel back when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out. Yeah. They left the X-Men in that shit.
Yeah.
So they could easily have the X-Men in there if they wanted to, but they didn't. And then Capcom came out with this ridiculous excuse saying, we didn't have the characters in there because we feel people wouldn't remember the X-Men. Because Carol Danvers, everybody knows who Carol Danvers is. Nobody knows who Wolverine is.
Here's the thing, though. The whole franchise started actually was X-Men versus Street Fighter or something like that. X-Men Children of Adam, if you really go back. Yeah, so it actually started with X-Men.
Exactly.
It was them.
The first versus game, it wasn't random bullshit versus Fighter. It was X-Men versus Street Fighter. Yes, the X-Men have been characters since day one. So they said, nobody remembers them. Nobody cares about the characters. They just care about the move inputs. No, people play Wolverine because it's Wolverine. Get the hell out of here.
Everybody knows Wolverine. He's one of the most iconic characters in Marvel. Like everybody.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I think those things really hurt this game because unlike Street Fighter, this thing is feature rich. Street Fighter 5, that thing came out all fucked up. There was nothing in the game except for multiplayer, basically, and some kind of sort of story. It was nothing. This game has everything. It has a story mode, has mission mode, has a bunch of crazy shit in it, but no one's paying attention to that because all this other nonsense is going on with it. So Marvel, both Marvel and Capcom fucked up here. Let's just be real, and it's sad because again, mechanically speaking, this is a solid fighting game. There's nothing wrong with it on a mechanical level. It's just all that other shit is hampering it, Yeah.
I know on YouTube, what the crazy thing is, I don't know if it's just me being super, super skeptical or whatever, but it seems like they're pushing out these games hella fast for these tournaments and these competitions, man.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Because I just feel like when you look at the game, it looks super rushed. It doesn't have no polish. Like, it might be I mean, I'm pretty sure the fighting is solid, right? But I mean, the presentation, the menus, they just feel like they didn't put any passion behind the game. Period. And I've been playing since Street Fighter versus X-Men, you know what I mean, in the arcades. So it didn't. I mean, I might get it on sale later on, but I just can't get my dollar right now, man.
And you could kind of tell by the character roster, the game was built with DLC in mind.
Bro, of course.
Because when you look at it, it's like it's just not enough. Like it should be more, especially with the vast universe of Marvel and all that stuff. There's like so many players that
there's so many Marvel vs. Capcom 3 characters in it too. Yeah. Like, I mean, you guys had a lot of opportunity to bring us new characters that we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Especially on the Cap Spencer. Fuck.
I think it was just a wasted opportunity for them. Originally, when they announced the game, I was really hyped for it. But then, like over time, I just I was gonna buy. I'm not. Yeah, and it's like I'll get it eventually. It was just one of those games that fell by the wayside, man. I thought it was going to be a huge game, but probably because of the whole Street Fighter V debacle, trying to rush without having a story mode, without having arcade mode and all that stuff, that kind of put a lot of people off on Capcom. So, I mean, they have a lot to redeem.
I'm gonna say this though, just me personally, I like fighters, but it's not like it's my number one genre. But I do love them. But I'm getting like fighters fatigue this year. I'm like, holy shit, how many fighters are there?
There's a lot,
and there's a lot, and if you really want to get good, you have to put in a lot of hours. But every hour you get good at a fighter is an hour you don't play other games. And like, there's so many games is coming out. Yeah, and Destiny 2, of course. It's just I got fighters fatigue. And then also, like when I bought Tekken, oh man, that game pissed me off, bro. That game sucks so bad. Man. Oh my god, that right there, like, I don't want to play no more fighters. I'm done. Yeah, that game was garbage. I played that game for one day, and I'm like, and I bought it digitally, so I'm like, man, it Sony has a crappy refund thing. So I'm like, oh man, I would have refunded that game with the quickness if it was on Xbox, if I would have got on Xbox. But it is what it is. But it's just, here's the thing: is Capcom, and I think, can we say Capcom is really going downstroke for all? Because it's like, can we maybe you guys is. Maybe hopefully Monster Hunter could do something. But is Capcom really screwing the pooch? I mean, I think the best thing it was RE7. I think they did good with that one. But it's been 4 years, and like they're really like they're not really. I wouldn't even consider them top 10 developers this gen. Like, what do you guys think?
Where's Lost Planet? Fuck.
Like, no, you're right about that. It's like if it wasn't for Resident Evil 7, I don't know, man. Like, it's rough for Capcom now. It's like even with some of their games, didn't they have to didn't they need Sony's help with Street Fighter V because of budgets or some shit like that? Like, I don't know what's going on with them, man. I mean, they're better off than Konami is right now, but still, but it's another Japanese company that's not as big as they once used to be for whatever reason, and you figured, hey, with this type of game, they knock it out the park. It's like, okay, yeah, I understand Street Fighter V and probably versus Capcom are going to be very big among the Evo crowd, but the Evo crowd is a very minuscule amount of gamers. Yeah. Let's just be real here, So it's like, okay, you're making all these games to cater to these like niche crowds, but what about the masses? You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's funny, some of those guys in Evo, they didn't even buy the game. They get it for free. Like Capcom sends it to them so they could start practicing, and then they could start, doing their streams and being in tournaments. So it's not like they even pay for the games. It's like they get it for free.
Yeah,
so like
that's true.
Capcom gets any money in their pocket from them and stuff like that. I just think Capcom's just falling off. Like they have so many IPs. And they used to have so much creativity to create new IPs. Like, where the hell's, like, I even asked, where the hell's Deep Down? Like, that game had a huge reaction.
Yeah.
Like, people saw the game and they were like, holy shit. And Capcom's like, we'll give you half-ass Street Fighter. Like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are these guys doing? We'll give you a Marvel vs. Capcom with no X-Men because you guys don't remember who X-Men is. Like, what? like, did you not see the Logan movie? And how, like, like we just saw Logan like a couple of months ago, and people
and Deadpool. No, those don't exist. Yeah, don't exist.
Like we just so like we kind of know like X-Men exists, and we love the franchise and stuff. It's just insane. Like Capcom could just be like I even know people asking for a Dino Crisis.
Yeah,
like it's just sad and stuff. All right, so anybody got on this topic?
Nah, nope. I said my piece, man.
No,
okay. That's it. All right. So I think that's it. You know, that was a quick show. We kept it about an hour. You know, I want to say thank you very much for everybody that showed up, and we're gonna do some outros and you know let people know where they can find you. We're gonna kick it off with All Day, the pettiest gamer on the net. All Day.
See, he was too petty. He left.
Too petty, man. He don't even want to talk.
Hey, nah, thanks for having me, bro, man. You guys want to check me out on Twitter, allday_digital, man. Thanks for having me, Tony. Good meeting you, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Thanks, brother.
Man, definitely.
Hey, Puerto Rock, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, of course, man.
Kratos,
Anytime,
the
brother.
god of gaming.
Definitely,
racing.
bro.
He said racing.
Oh, got a racing this week?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
This week, yeah. I was Kratio last week. The Mario Kratos.
Then of course we had again, you know, Kratos, Jaydubcity. What's going on? Shout yourself out.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming rocking out with Puerto Rock, man, and seeing the panel. Again, you guys can find me on Twitter at Jaydubcity16. I'm always keeping you guys laughing with the funny memes and the gifs. Go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button. Love what my boy Puerto Rock is doing. My boy Tony P. All Day be everywhere. So go ahead and subscribe and like these guys' channel, man. And thanks for rocking out with us.
Okay, definitely. And of course, last but not least, and definitely a first timer here, but he is always welcome all the time. The man, the head honcho of the throwdown, my man, Tony. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, man. Yo, first of all, obviously, want to thank you for having me on. It's been a while, but we definitely finally got it done. And I got to get you on Throwdown. You know, that's gonna be the next step. You know, that's gonna be hot.
We're gonna get the Bacardi up in there.
You already know, son. You know. So yeah, shout out to the panel, my man J-Dub and All Day. Nice, you know. Actually, like it's funny. I'm gonna say meeting you, but you know what I'm saying. Like we
right.
Yeah, I mean,
you know. So yeah, man. Yo, hit me up on Twitter at Romudeth, ROMUDETH. It's gonna have links to all this shit I do on my bio. So yeah, man, come check me out, man. It's crazy. Got my. By the way, don't be too afraid of my timeline. It gets a little crazy like it did today. As a matter of fact, during the show, I had to block a couple of these Nintendo fanboys.
Oh man, they're coming at you.
Coming at me hard, son. I guess they finished dinner tonight. They're all just coming at me right now. You know.
What did you do? What did you do to Switch Gang?
Okay, so basically this is what happened, right? Because it was my man Kofi. Shout out to Kofi, right? Yeah. He was talking about GTA 5 coming to Switch, and I'm like, bro, come on, get the fuck out of here. That shit can't handle that, you know. And then he was saying, oh, that's a PS3 game. Of course, it could be on, it could be on Switch. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like
maybe.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, Tony. Just on that subject,
yeah.
It pretty much runs on the same engine as LA Noire, and that was just LA Noire was just a test of what kind of backlog games they can bring. If that game can run it and it's successful, there is no reason that GTA shouldn't be able to do it. Obviously, it don't have to be the
LA Noire is it's not the same thing as GTA. GTA is so much more dense, so much bigger, so much shit going on. Now, don't get me wrong. I am willing to eat fucking crow season with Goya if I'm wrong about this, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think GTA could be ported over to Switch successfully. Maybe you can have a version of it, but I don't think you could bring the full game to Switch. I don't think that system can handle it. Not because everybody was throwing the Tegra specs at me. Yes, I'm not denying that the Tegra on paper
one T flops.
I'm not denying it's more powerful on paper than the PS3 and Xbox 360. But at the same time, think about this. On paper, the PS3 was more powerful than 360. 360 had the better looking third-party games, right? It's all about how you implement the shit.
Because the sale processor and stuff like that. I agree. It's a stretch, but right now, today, it's more plausible that it may eventually get there than not. Only because of the guy who leaked it. He's very credible on a lot of other stuff. He's the one that broke the news about LA Noire coming there and other games coming there. So having it come from that source is like it's a little bit credible. I mean, yesterday it was 0. Today it's if 1%. So even 1% is better than 0.
Yeah. Let me say this, bro. Like, how you could switch between characters? Will the Switch be able to handle that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what the
system. You got Trevor. Like, every time I had to switch over Trevor, he's like butt naked doing something weird shit on the mountain in California by himself. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, stop. Like, can Switch handle that portion of the game?
That's the only thing I'm questioning. I don't know if that system is capable of doing that. And dudes are throwing, oh, but what about Breath of the Wild? Look at how that thing runs. I'm like, Breath of the Wild not only is a very simple graphically game, but there's nothing in the world. It's just grass and trees. There's really nothing in there. It's not like GTA that's packed with all these like characters and cars and all this other shit. I don't see it coming to Switch
unless they really downgrade it. Like
they have to.
If they're able to think about it this way, okay. If they're able to bring Doom and Wolfenstein 2,
but those are corridor shooters, bro. They're not open world games.
I get it because the only open world game we've seen so far is Zelda, and obviously we're gonna see like Dragon Quest Heroes coming, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I can't say because here's the thing. Okay, for one, the system is one T-flop. I thought when I downloaded my NBA 2K18, I thought it was going to be a PS3, Xbox 360 version of the game. It's not. It's a PlayStation 4 and a Xbox One version of the game, just cut down to 30 frames. But the games, the graphics, replays, everything is in there, and it's a complete game. It looks beautiful, and they really didn't cut down much of anything. And so I'm like, if they can do that, sure, they can cut down GTA from being 60 frames per second on some consoles and the PC and stuff like that. They can make compromises. It doesn't have to be the shining beacon. It only has to process 720p resolution. And I
know you're right about that.
People don't realize that 720p. They were doing that back in PS3 and Xbox 360 days. If they were able to do that now with 1 teraflops, they should be able to do that and have it look pretty good.
And 720, let's say this, 720p does not look bad on that little screen.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The processing, it doesn't take much to process 720p. Our cell phones process, 4K these days. My iPhone, 8 and the X and all that stuff, and Android phones is way more advanced than that. So it doesn't really take much to do that. As long as they hit that 720p mark, I think it's good. I think it's capable, man.
Well, like I said, if I'm wrong, then so be it. But I really don't see GTA running on. I think at least competently. Like even the NBA game. Like, don't you have to download like the online shit? And then what else? There's another game.
Not that. It was another game somebody did a rant about. You had to download some separate content or something. I don't have that game. So
you need an SD card for it. So not everybody's gonna have an SD card. GTA is like what 65 gigs or something like that.
Yeah,
those memory cards.
So on Switch, it's probably going to be half. It's probably going to have to.
It's going to have to because the cards only hold 32 gigs.
No. That's okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah,
the internal memory of the Switch, the internal hard drive, the flash memory in there is 32 gigs.
Really 25 though. Let's just be honest.
Well, really 25. Okay, when you buy your Switch. You go to Best Buy, you go and pick you up a 256 gigabyte thing for like freaking $30. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Pop it in there, and I have like freaking 60 Switch games on there I still got like 60 to 70 gigabytes left. And the biggest thing that you can buy now, memory card you can buy now is 400 gigabyte.
Yeah.
So that's just a limitation of what you're gonna have. And most people don't buy everything digital, so you really don't use up a lot of space if you buy the actual cart, if you buy the physical. Now, if you download everything, then that, you're going to obviously, just like the PlayStation and the Xbox One, you're going to, with that 500 gigabyte hard drive, you're going to run out of space quick because those games do fill up. So what do? You go and buy you an external hard drive. Well, it's the same thing. Once you run out of space, you go and buy you a memory card. I'm not taking it. I'm just saying I don't think it's as complicated as there are compromises. Every system has compromises. I just don't see the Switch being any more different than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One the last 4 years.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to see, but either way, it's gonna be. Look, again, last week I played Skyrim on Switch. I played Doom on Switch, right? Doom. I was amazed that it could even run on this thing, but at the same time, I noticed the graphical fidelity wasn't there. It was running at 30 frames, and even Skyrim, looked very close to the PS3 counterpart. But even then, I noticed there were some things missing, like graphical effects, like environmental effects. So I'm like, guys, like, yeah. If you could bring GTA, it's going to be compromised, man. It's going to be compromised. Like, go ahead. No, I was going to say, I'm giving the system its prompts for being able to, like, when I heard about Wolfenstein, I'm like, wait, what? That's crazy. But
and
still,
Doom too, shit.
Yeah, but the limits, like the memory cards, the overheating, and all this other. There's a lot of factors with the Switch that developers have to take into account that they can't go all out for. If the Switch was a CD-based system, I'd be like, yeah, they could run that GTA, no problem. But with that cartridge, that's where I'm like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah. Well, do you guys think that they could do something like, let's say they skip GTA 5 and they bring a port of GTA 6, but they spend time making a custom version of it to make sure it runs. And that's basically what they're doing with Doom and the other one. That's basically what they're doing. They created a custom version. They worked on it, not just ported, but they tailor-made it for the Switch. That's why they said that, hey, we're able to do this because we made a custom version, not just porting something over and turning down all the settings until we get it to run okay.
Yeah. By the way, again, this thing's still developing now. Now, dudes are saying that I should be fired for my opinions.
Hey, if GTA is gonna be on the Switch, bro, it's gonna be a turn-based XCOM style watch.
That's messed up.
With Mario and shit.
That's petty. That's petty.
Hey, but didn't they do what's the name on the Vita? The Liberty Stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They actually did. Yeah, they actually did Liberty Stories on the.
What if they port San Andreas over, like, and make it really good? Like,
Switch could definitely, yeah. Switch could definitely do San Andreas,
Yeah, that'd be a good throwback.
Shit, if iPhones can do San Andreas, the Switch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that could.
But I mean, like with up-to-date textures and stuff like that, like
like a remaster.
Yeah. Honestly, to tell you guys the truth, no one thought that the Switch would do what it's doing right now. No one thought that because of what happened with the Wii.
Yeah.
So I think we all have been like, okay, cool. I mean, and then to see them come out and say Doom is coming and all these freaking games that we never knew was coming, it's like, damn. I mean, this thing it became legit. It earned its stripes. Now we're gonna see in 2018 what they have, because at the end of this year it could just fizzle off, but so far they're selling 1 million a month, and they have some big bangers coming. So
that fucking Mario looks dope as shit, bro.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. We know that Mario, man. If Zelda sold more copies of Zelda than they sold Switches, Mario is going to sell more copies of Mario than they sold Switches. That's nuts.
Do you think Mario would have launched better at the beginning of the system? Or now?
I'm glad they did it now. I'm glad because they have more. They have more physical.
Yeah,
copies
I talked about that on Throwdown. It was like, okay, the reason why you didn't get Mario on the jump is because Nintendo wasn't confident they'll have enough systems out there, right? Yeah. That's why, okay, put Zelda, because Mario's been finished for months. Yeah. Mario's been done, bro, but they knew.
They're holding for the holidays.
Yeah, exactly, because they know there's gonna be enough systems out there, for people to actually buy this game, bro. Because let's just be honest, as great as Zelda is and as popular as Zelda is, it ain't shit compared to how popular Mario is.
True. Mario is the definition of
it's an icon, bro.
Yeah.
There
is no greater icon. Maybe Spider-Man can go up there with it, but other than that, Mario is Mario. People think that we give Nintendo a break because of nostalgia, and it's like no, it's like you can't really explain why, but you just know it doesn't matter what console that they release, Mario is going to sell gangbusters on it, and that's just going to be until the end of time. That's just it is what it is. There's no explanation of it.
All right, so this was a great way to end the show. We already did our outro. Woo. Nothing like a good Nintendo conversation to go out with a bang. Anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. To my family out there that was in the chat, I hope you enjoyed the show. For those who's going to tune in later on, I hope you did enjoy everything we had to say. I want to thank all the guests for showing up. I appreciate spending your time with me. And so goes another episode of 60 Frames No Light podcast. I'll see you guys next week with a new topic, new guests, maybe some returning guests. We'll see what's going on. But anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77, the Gamers Champ, and I'm all. Enjoy your night. Peace.